Hi, another quick video. So you've seen this 5-inch TFT before. What I finally sussed is how to get the SD card working, SD card, MMC card. So what it's doing, just running through a few pictures. I'll let you watch the screen for a few minutes, a few seconds, just to watch the images run through. I haven't reduced these. They're 800 by 460, and I think some of the files are like over 1 megabyte in size. Too big to fit all of these pictures into the chip itself. So I spent about 2 weeks trying to get this micro SD card running with my Fusion EasyPick Fusion board. In the end, I established a file allocation table. FAT16 doesn't support 32 gig. I took the 2 gig card out of my phone, put it in this adapter, and there we have it. Got working SD card. So I'm actually using Mikroelektronika's Visual TFT. Costs about £60. I'd recommend you purchase it. It's the easiest way to get pictures onto a memory card. And with Visual TFT you can obviously then incorporate a touchscreen and all that sort of stuff, which I'm not really into at the moment. Just wanted to get random pictures for them for the minute. Right, that's the, if I turn off the light. So they're all running off the memory card. Well, let me turn that over. Well, I've got, this is the 2 gig card. You see 2 gig out of my phone. The 32 gig wouldn't work for 2 weeks, and then I established it's a 32 gigs wrong format for Mikroelektronika's software. Right, here's the wiring diagram. So not use the TFT touchscreen display function yet, just using these the SD card functions. So it's Mizo and Mozzie, whatever. Was it master in serial out and master out serial in? I've got the wiring diagram, shows you how to wire this up. So depending on what software you're using and what SPI channel, that determines what connection you use for these. I've got these written out here, and you will see the software in a minute. Don't need to worry about the rest of it. You will have seen that on the other video, hopefully. Right, if I get rid of that and bring up this other one, so reduce that down a bit. Right, so we're using PIC 32 still. I've actually got this bottom one, that's 576, 256K in memory. Too small to hold all those pictures. Right, it took me ages to figure out how to wire the thing up, and I look at the software, which I'll show you in a minute. It initiates SPI3. So then I looked at the chip, and this PIC 32 chip's got 4 SPI channels and 5 I2C, which is why you see this down here. Some of them are shared. So look, SPI 1 in and out, transmit receive there, and then clock for 1, SPI 2, and then the clock is over here, SPI 3, which is what this software is using. I'll show you in a minute. Going to the SD card, I'll zoom out a bit, and SPI 4 over here, SPI 4 there, transmit receive, and the clock is over here. Right, so first and foremost, I've done pictures for the people who don't understand my English. Obviously there's some foreign viewers, so you can't use 32 gig, that's out. You'll take 2 weeks to establish, it won't work as I did. So you've got to use a card. To be honest, I'm not sure the size it can go up or down to. Got to use a card that supports the FAT16, so file allocation table, FAT16. Doesn't support 32 gig. I'm not sure how high it does go, maybe up to about 4 gig I think. Maybe it's higher than that. Then you've got a problem formatting it. So the easiest way to use is to use Mikroelektronika software. Simple format instruction will format the card for you if it's not been formatted to that system. Or go into XP, which is what I did. Go in DOS and formatted it in DOS. Once I formatted it FAT16 in DOS in Windows XP, I then come back to Windows 7 and I had the option of formatting. Right, so if I zoom you in here, hopefully you can see all this. Change to a high definition if you can't see it. So chip select is defined in the software. You've got the MOSI, so look, data in, data out, clock, ground, 3.3 volts. There's a little micro switch pin. You can wire it up to any pin you want if you want to sense the card in or out. Mikroelektronika's visual TFT. As if I give you a quick rundown, there's my R1 back in 2010. That's my son, sorry, 2001. That's my son on it. That bike lasted 18 days and got trashed and tooting. Someone did a U-turn. Right, so I've put on loads of screens. Screen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And all you do is generate this code up here. Hit the generate code. If you press play, it imports or exports the code to your compiler. In this case it's Micro C Pro for PIC32. But the main thing is you want the file for the SD card. Now at the moment, because I've only just started this up for the demonstration, there's nothing to say, well, where's the code? I chose not to see the user code, so it's not there. But go up to these tools. Well, this is a Fusion board, but a custom made one. So look, I want the resources externally on an MMC card, which is same as an SD card. These are already filled in and copied from other ones. Click OK. Come down here and you'll see locate resource. Let me just turn my alarm off. Locate resource. That's opened the file location where all the files are, and you want this R1 resource res file. You click that, copy it to, oh, better cancel it, copy it to your memory card, which isn't actually there, but that's going to copy now anyway. Copy it to your memory card, pop it in the holder, and job done. Visual TFT does it all for you. This is a bit is reading the memory card. Hopefully you can get that. Watch it as I say in HD. If I scroll down the bottom, this is the images. That's the initialization for the TFT. The main bit you're interested in. So these are all the different screens. This it also initializes the SPI there, and as you can see, the example I had was SPI 3. So that's why, going back to the chip wiring, not that one, that one, we're using SPI 3. Right, so there's Visual TFT, the start. I forgot to say, so I imported an R1 res file because I called those shots an R1 because it had my R1 in it. you obviously, depending on what file project you're creating, you import the relevant file. Right, so shut that down. What I forgot to show you was the rest of the code, so I'm just booting this back up again. Right, so at the bottom of the screen I put a while statement, and it's just running through. I think Visual TFT said draw screen and screen 1 because I haven't got anything else set up. I haven't got the TFT working, scroll through the other pictures. So while 1, draw screen and screen 1, and then I just simply added draw screen 2, 3, 4, obviously down to 8 with a 4-second delay in the middle. So Visual TFT does most of it for you. As I say, that's the initialization for the SPI, and then assigns, as I said, that name to whatever your project's called. I called it an R1, so that's why it's called an R1 resource, but that's the important bit. Res file, so it's about an 8 meg file. Copy it to the memory card. In my case, I plugged it into an adapter and plugged it into the USB, copied that file over, it was job done. Some of this is still, I've got a clock running in the background, but deleted it from the display. That's just going back up. It starts getting complicated. The code gets complicated with Visual TFT. If I zoom in a bit, but it all makes sense when you start using it. So if I just scroll back up, there's owner screen and screen 8, and there's the name of the bitmaps or JPEGs. You can use bitmaps and JPEGs in Visual TFT. As I said, about £60. I think I purchased it online, and they sent me the key code to operate it. If you don't purchase it, I think you can use about 7 objects or 7 images. So these 8 screens would have exceeded that, so I wouldn't have been able to compile it. I can scroll up quickly, and you can obviously slow it down if you want. As I say, Visual TFT does it all for you. That's the important bit, reading the memory card as you saw before, and that's the touch panel, which I haven't wired up, and TFT. And at the top there I've got some notes about the wiring. So I thought, how do I get the SD card working? That's the chip select you assign, so you know where you're going to wire that up to. You can assign it to any pin, but then where's this data out? MISO, is it MISO and MOSI and clock? Where the hell do you wire them up to? But because Visual TFT initialized SPI3, I then looked at the PIC microcontroller and established we're using SPI3 with RF2, RF8. The clock is on RD15, which, as you can see, SCK3, clock 3. Anyway, that's it. Hope you find this helpful. There's just the resources for the pictures. Thank you very much.